Hey everybody, my name is Natalie Duncan-Emmons. I wanted to thank you for listening to this episode of The Morning Show. I'm the creator, the producer, and the host of the show. We want you to check out our website. It's themorningshowwithnatalie.com. You can go to that website. You can see all about our sponsors, all about the show. You can even listen to live episodes while they're going on right there from the website. Another way to listen to the show live is go to Live 365. You can download that app and just search for The Morning Show. It's right there. Super easy. We want you to hit the like button and subscribe to this channel if you will. That way you can keep up with what's going on the morning show. Thank you. I hope you enjoy it. My name is Natalie Duncan-Emmons. It's Friday morning, and we've been celebrating all week long our featured artist of the week, my good friend, Scotty Inman. The day is today. We've been waiting for a long time. Today is release day for the brand new album, and he's right here on the morning show for the big day. Scotty, are you there?
I cannot believe it's finally here. I mean,
You've been
seriously,
waiting.
like this thing was started back in the beginning of November of last year, and we kind of got the album done quicker than expected. So we've been, for lack of a better word, sitting on this album for a little longer than I like, but the plan was the plan. So finally, it's out in the public. It's on every streaming platform, it's on a website, it's everywhere. So thank goodness.
Well, I've been itching too, because I've kind of known all along it was happening and kind was excited about it. It's kind of been like Christmas. It seems like, when's it ever going to get here? But today's the day. I can't believe it.
Well, you got to come to, I had a little release party, a pre-release party. I had to have it a month early because of my schedule with Triumphant. So we had a pre-release party a month before it released. And so that kind of teased myself plus some other people that, okay, we got to wait another month now. But I was glad you and Tate got to be there, and a lot of my friends got to be there. It was a fun night, and I'm so excited.
Well, it was a fancy deal, and Tate and I were honored that you invited us to come and that we were there. I felt kind of like a fish out of water. I looked around and thought, what am I doing here? I mean, these are some big dogs here at Scotty Inman's party, but you invited me, so I was tickled to get to go, and it was a fun night. I appreciate that, Scotty.
Well, no, y'all were invited for a reason. I think the world of you and your boy and your whole family. So.
Well, I appreciate that. You've done a lot for both of us, and you're a good friend, Scotty Inman. We love you.
Love you back.
Well, look, let's talk about this album right here. We've been every day this week. We've played I think every day we've played about 3 songs a day. And the show's only 2 hours. So, I mean, to play 3 songs from the same artist is a lot. And we've been playing 3 songs every morning from this album, kind of teasing people, letting them hear this, telling them to get it pre-ordered. But today they can just go out there and download the album and get it. Scotty, I've never heard an album any better than this right here. It's kind of hard as a soloist to put out an album that keeps, that. It's as a soloist, it's just you. I mean, you've been with Triumphant all of these years. As a quartet, you can throw off, let this one sing the lead on this song, throw it off to the bass, go to the tenor, go to the lead. You can keep things interesting. It's a little harder for a soloist to do a whole project by themselves to keep it interesting. But let me tell you, if anybody has ever succeeded, it is you, my friend. This is a fantastic album.
Well, first of all, that's a huge compliment, because I do agree. It's hard as one person to keep the attention, and so to speak. But I think Josh Swift produced this record, and me and him just kind of worked together and try to figure out, if we were listening to this album, what would we expect? What would we want? What would keep our attention? Some little things here and there, some differences in, tempos and subject matter and all that stuff. But I give all the credit to Josh Swift, who produced this record, for making it something that, like you said, is enjoyable from beginning to end without getting bored, I guess.
Well, did y'all hear that? Scotty Inman said he gave all the credit to somebody else because that's just like Scotty Inman. That's just something that Scotty Inman would do because he's humble like that. But I doubt that all the credit goes to anybody else. I'm going to give all the credit to Scotty Inman because not only did you sing it, not only was it your idea, but you wrote most of these songs on the album as well. Let's play one. Can we play the title cut right now? Give people a taste of it. We've already played it a couple of times on the morning show, but let's start this thing out this morning with the title cut of the album. We want people to recognize this name. It's the name of the album, the name of the song. And while this is playing, as you're listening, go out where you get your music, Spotify, Apple Music, iTunes, wherever, and be downloading this project if you hadn't already done it. Here it is, the title project from Scotty Inman's album. It's out today, Anywhere Jesus Is.
Think about walking down Main Street and the folks that pass my way, seeing old friends and family and talking about the day when this is what we dreamed about, what we were living for. Now we're standing in the wonder, just being with the Lord. Don't need to be streets of gold, they could all be red dirt roads. I'm not looking for a crazy mansion, I feel at home in a humble cabin. Don't matter about a crystal sea, a little pond is cool with me. And I gotta say, at the end of the day, it comes down to this: heaven's anywhere Jesus is. I think about all the songs we sing when our faith is turned aside, face to face with the King of Kings, what I've longed for all my life. No more sorrow, no more sadness, no more tears in our eyes. Forever living in the land of no goodbyes. Don't need to be streets of gold, they could all be red dirt roads. I'm not looking for a crazy mansion, I feel at home in a humble cabin. Don't matter about a crystal sea, a little pond is cool with me. And I gotta say, at the end of the day, it comes down to this: heaven's anywhere Jesus is. Presence, yeah, yeah. My heart's already there. Don't need to be streets of gold, they could all be red dirt roads. Not looking for a crazy mansion, I feel at home in a humble cabin. Don't matter about a crystal sea, a little pond's cool with me. And I gotta say, at the end of the day, it comes down to this: heaven's anywhere Jesus is. Heaven, heaven, heaven is anywhere Jesus is. Heaven, heaven, heaven is anywhere Jesus is. Yeah, yeah. Heaven's anywhere Jesus is.
Well, Scotty, there's that song. That's the title cut off of the project. Now I want to talk about a different one, and this happens to be my favorite song on the album. You did sing it the night at your release party. I was there. It was the first time I had ever heard the album, and I remember coming up to you afterwards and told you I enjoyed it, and I said, I believe that will be your first #1 song. When we played it for the first time on the show this week, my text line started going off. My personal phone started going off. People started texting about this song, how much they loved it, how great it was. And I said on the show, after I played it and got that response, I came back and said, you heard it right here on the morning show. My prediction, this will be Scotty Inman's first #1 song. I'm sticking with that. I'm claiming that. I think it's going to be the first single. Is it Saved, people? Is that going to be the first release?
It is, and it should be going out any day now. And honestly, I appreciate you. Coming out with a new album, you don't know what song is going to stick more than another. So until people listen starting today, you start hearing what people's thoughts are on which songs are mentioned the most, I guess. But this song, from those who have heard the album, is always mentioned, and it's fun. But the message is so in your face, true, and it's just honestly, going back to what you said about the number one song thing. I don't know as a debut single from a soloist has ever gone number one, so I may have an uphill battle, but I appreciate your optimism and I love you for it. But no,
Well,
but
we
I
think
I think
big. We dream big. If we're gonna
we
plan,
do
if we're gonna
we
do
do.
something, we go all the way with it. We plan big. That's right.
I'm same. I'm the same. But I will say this song was written with Jimmy Yeary, and man, I've always wanted, especially with Facebook right now, and everybody's just, they're just beating each other up verbally. It's like Christians fighting with Christians, and why would anybody want what we have if all we do is argue and go back and forth? And some people only hear kindness. They only hear when you're kind to them. And this song speaks about how some people don't care how much you know till they know how much you care.
Yeah.
That's one of my favorite lines in the whole song. It's like sometimes you got to get off of your, beating them up and tell them everything they're doing wrong. Sometimes just serving people is what it takes for them to want to know more about your faith. And so
Absolutely.
I think we see that in mission trips, and we see that in back in the day. There was the World Changers, and things where people would go and they'd help build homes or help clean up around people's houses, and just the act of kindness opened the door for the gospel. And this song basically says saved people serve people, served people get saved.
Yeah.
And I just I think it's a very special song, and one I'll be singing for a long time.
Well, we hope so. Scotty, you sure have a way with words. And if there was ever a song that portrayed a person's heart, this one sure does yours. Because as I said a minute ago about your humility, you truly have a servant's heart. And anybody who knows Scotty Inman knows that. And I'll throw this out about Jimmy Yeary. I'm a little starstruck with Jimmy, and I've known of Jimmy Yeary for a long time. I think he is one of my favorite songwriters besides Scotty Inman. He's one of my favorite
Rah.
songwriters out there, and I had never met him until the party that your release party. And I mentioned to the sound, I had the sound on last week, and I think he had a hand in writing some of the songs on their latest album. And I told them, I said, I met Jimmy Yeary just a couple of weeks ago for the first time. And at your party, he walked up to me and he went, "Who are you? I think I've seen your face before." He had no idea who I was. I think he was just being polite. And I was so
Mhm.
starstruck, Scotty, I couldn't think who I was. I knew who he was. He was Jimmy Yeary, but I
That's
just stood
funny.
there and looked at him. I couldn't think of my name or who I was or why I was there. I just kind of stood there and looked at him for a minute. But look, you two as a team, you're unstoppable. You're unbeatable. You make a dynamic team right there, Scotty Inman and
Well,
Jimmy Yeary.
it's an honor to get to even, we've become brothers, we've become good friends. But you start off as, hey, let's write a song together. You write, I write. We know each other. We know, same people. Then it becomes a brotherhood where you're just texting about nothing. You're ending up at the same birthday parties because you have the same friends. And that's what's awesome about the community is, even beyond the music, it's a friendship and a brotherhood. We also wrote another song on this album entitled "God Made Good." That's honestly another one of my favorite songs on the record. So I mean, I really feel like me and Jimmy have a kindred spirit when it comes to what we want to say and how we want to say it, and even musically. And also, listen, don't you ever feel starstruck now? Don't you do that? You
Well, he's a pretty
you
impressive
hold your
character.
he is. You hold your own though. I remember, never mind. I've already said this one time, but the Casting Stones song that you wrote years ago, I'll never forget that song. That song got me so you know how songs just hit you and you don't forget them? That was a song I've never forgotten for some reason. He's written many since that are great, but that song just nailed me. Anyway, back to the interview. I'm sorry.
I appreciate that, Scotty. And we'll throw this out there for Jimmy Yeary. And this interview is not about Jimmy Yeary, but I love watching you guys on the Yeary Chapel Live. So we'll say this out to the audience. If you don't follow Jimmy Yeary on Facebook, you ought to do that, because he does a thing called Yeary Chapel Live, and he has Scotty Inman on there all the time, and they just sit and play and sing songs, and it's really enjoyable to watch. So we'll throw that little plug in there. Look, let's play that song. That's a lot of fun. Let's play that song right now that we started this segment with, the one that's my favorite off the album. It's going to be Scotty's latest single coming out really soon. You're going to love this. Save People. Here it is.
You might be that voice in the choir on Sunday morning, or be a welcome smile for that new face in the crowd, or be that silent prayer for somebody who's in need. Gotta move a mountain, and we can be the seed. Oh, save people, served people get saved. An act of kindness can shake the blindest standing in their way. Sometimes the best witness is what you do, not what you say. Oh, save people, served people get saved. They get saved. The world is full of lonely, broken hearts on every corner, but we can be a light to the lost and show them love. You might know the Bible quote, the hows and whens and wheres, but some people don't care how much you know till they know how much you care. That's right. Oh, save people, served people get saved. An act of kindness can shake the blindest standing in their way. Sometimes the best witness is what you do, not what you say. Oh, save people, served people get saved. They get saved. It's in the way you talk. Hallelujah, saved. It's in the way you live. It's in the way you give. Hallelujah, saved. It's in the way you walk. It's in the way you talk. Hallelujah, saved. It's in the way you live. It's in the way you give. Hallelujah, saved. Oh, save people, served people get saved. An act of kindness can shake the blindest standing in their way. Sometimes the best witness is what you do, not what you say. Oh, save people, served people get saved. They get saved. It's in the way you talk, it's in the way you live, it's in the way you give. They get saved. It's in the way you talk, it's in the way you live, it's in the way you give. They get saved. It's in the way you talk, it's in the way you live, it's in the way you give. They get saved. It's in the way you talk, it's in the way you live, it's in the way you give. They get saved.
Okay, Scotty, let's talk about the song on the album that has a special guest. We actually made a little contest out of this. The first time that we played it this week, I don't remember what day it was, but one day this week we played this song, and I told him I was not going to tell him who the special guest was. On the second verse, the first one who could text in the correct answer was going to win a copy of this brand new CD. And we just had so many people that were texting in and guessing, and most of them got it right instantly because it's such a recognizable voice. I want to know how you picked John Anderson and how you got up with John Anderson. Tell us about recording this song with the legendary John Anderson. Wow.
Well, yeah, I'm like, honestly, there's times I can't even believe it happened, to be honest with you. Growing up, I was of course I was around Christian music, gospel music. My dad singing my whole life, but I was a huge country music fan. I mean, I just Diamond Rio to John Anderson to whoever else. But for some reason, I always loved like Seminole Wind and all those songs like that. So,
Me too.
And so I would even do an impression, even on Yeary Chapel. I've been, I have my infamous John Anderson impressions I do or whatever, just for joke, for fun. So there was always this tie to me and John Anderson, but I loved him, never met him. Well, we were doing this record, and I said, well, I want to do a special guest, but I want it to be somebody out of the norm. I said, I'll tell you, I've always wanted to have I've always wanted to sing a song with John Anderson. I think he has the coolest thing. I saw him in concert years ago. I just love John Anderson. I just love everything about it. And he goes, well, that's funny. I said, what? He said, he don't live but 10 minutes from here. And
Wow.
I was like, for real? He said, yeah. He said, and one of my best friends is his best friend. I said, for real? And so he made a phone call, and one thing led to another. And he said, yeah, I'll consider that. Well, it came down to the final nitty gritty, like, okay, we're done with the record. Are you going to do it or not? So they called him. He said, I don't know. Just send me the song. Send me the song, which I totally understand. Why would anybody
Commit
want to be
something.
on a song?
They haven't even heard
he don't
it.
know me. He had never met me, and so you don't know what you're going to put yourself on. He's got a brand to uphold and all that. Well, he listened to the song, and he texts back. He texts back my producer, and he said, I love the song, and I love that old boy's voice. So I'm coming up to do it.
Wow.
And I was like, wow. I was like, that's amazing. And so he came up, did his part, and he even has a little cameo on Save People. That kind of, and in the second verse, I go, if people don't care how much you know till they know how much you care. And there's that's right. That's John Anderson saying that's right. So anyway, so that's kind of neat. So, but yeah, so it was a neat experience. I mean, who'd have thought, honestly? There's another guy, and I'm not trying to get ahead of myself, but there's another guy that I want to do a duet with in the future. And that's a guy that's from Lake. So hopefully that'll happen sooner than later.
Well, you know
his name's Randy Hauser. So we'll see what happens.
I'm sure that could happen. I mean, you two would just be amazing together. Randy's a good guy. I grew up, right with Randy. We were teenagers together in the same area. We weren't just extremely close, but we knew each other. I was singing, and I sang gospel growing up, and he sang country growing up. And, we'd do events together. He was always a very nice guy, very polite, always was.
Well, you never know. Maybe my next record, there may be somebody from y'all's area on there. Who knows? Who
knows what God will do? Sometimes he just gives us handfuls of purpose just to be kind to us, gives us our heart's desires.
Absolutely. And one thing, people may say, why in the world would you get, a country singer to sing, with you on your gospel album? Why wouldn't you get a gospel singer? And that's a great valid question. And there's nothing wrong with that as well. And I will do that. I'm sure it's at some point, because I love collaborations. But there's something about, in the day we live in, with all the digital stuff, where people type in somebody's name and it takes you to songs. People will type in John Anderson's name to maybe hear Seminole Wind or Swingin' or whatever. And they're somewhere down the line, it's going to say Scotty Inman featuring John Anderson. And
Sure.
and they're going to end up hearing a gospel song that's straight down the pike, that's going to minister. So sometimes when you cross market and you put Jesus and not sugarcoating it. This song is not a sugar-coated, made for country radio song. This song is probably the most down the pike lyric on the whole record.
Mm-hmm.
And so the fact that he's on it, you never know who might hear it because he is on it.
Absolutely. Well, Scotty, you have made us immensely proud with this, and we are thrilled that John Anderson made a special appearance on this album. It's one of our favorite songs, and every time that we hear him on that second verse, we just grin real big and we say, way to go, Scotty. We are so proud.
Well, thank you, and I grin too, to be honest with you. First time I heard it, man, I started laughing and crying, and I was like, I cannot believe that he is on that. That is nuts.
It's a big deal, and not many people can say that they've sung with John Anderson. So congratulations, Scotty. Let's play the song right now off the new album, Scotty Inman, with special guest John Anderson. Good enough for me. If nothing else, go get the album to hear this special duet. Here it is, Scotty Inman and John Anderson.
There are days on this journey I feel lost and alone. When life gets so heavy and I seem to lose my song. It's then I am reminded He's everywhere I go. When I open up the good book, I find all I need to know. He's the answer to my question, the solution to every need. He's the remedy according to what I read. And if it's in the Bible, that's good enough for me.
And I hold on to every promise and every word He said. There's a comfort in knowing that He always knows what's best. So when trials blur my vision, I don't have a second thought, 'cause it's by faith I understand that He's with me through it all.
He's the answer to my question, the solution to every need. He's the remedy according to what I read. And if it's in the Bible, that's good enough for me. He's the answer to my questions, the solution to every need. And He's the remedy according to what I read. And if it's in the Bible, that's good enough for me. Yeah, if it's in the Bible, that's good enough for me.
Well, Scotty, I want to thank you so much for spending not only the release date, not only is this special because today is the release date of the album, we've been waiting for this, but it's also your birthday. So from Natalie Duncan-Emmons and from all of the morning show, let me say happy birthday to my friend Scotty Inman.
Oh, well, thank you. And I can't think of a better birthday wish than from my friend Natalie. But here's what's funny is I had no clue that this album was going to be released on my birthday. It kind of sounds a little self-serving, but that it's releasing on my birthday. The record company that I'm a part of messaged me back in January and said, okay, we have your release date. Do you want to know it? And I was like, sure. I mean, that's exciting. They said, May 13th. And I said, well, that's funny. They said, wow. I said, because that's my birthday. They said, are you kidding? I was like, no. They said, well, that's perfect. So it was honestly a shot in the dark that even happened. So my first solo record releasing on my birthday without any knowledge from the party that made the date that it was my birthday. So it's pretty
Isn't
cool.
that something? Well, you won't ever have any trouble remembering when that first album came out. That'll be easy.
No, I know. And what's great is I'm kind of being awful and I'm making people feel bad. And I'm like, listen, I've never asked anything from anybody on my birthday, but this year I am. I want everybody to buy the record.
Absolutely.
Does that sound terrible?
No,
Does that
that's
sound
what
awful?
we're asking people today. We've been asking them all week. Look, I'm sitting here. I've got the CD. I'm sitting here in my Scotty Inman shirt. It says the answer is Jesus. Every member of my family has the shirt. We all even have the hat, and I don't even wear hats. I don't even look good in a hat, but we all have the hat. We have it all. We're true supporters.
Let me tell you something. That means the world to me. being in a group, I never, people people would buy merchandise or they'd buy CDs. You're like, oh, that's cool. I really appreciate that. When you do a solo album,
Yeah.
and people do that, you're like, wow, I cannot believe that means so much. It's like when it comes down, does that make sense?
Absolutely.
It's just, it's one of those things maybe I took for granted. I take for granted with Triumphant.
Yeah.
And but when it's your solo deal, you're like, wow, like that's people
And
are actually.
Scotty, it is a big deal. It is a big deal when someone makes the effort to go out to that website and to purchase that. And maybe not everybody has an abundance of extra. Times are harder than they've ever been before. The economy is bad. And when people will go out there and spend that money on your CD or on your product, that means a lot. And that support is saying a lot. And we're asking people to do that today. We're asking them to go out there to get the album and to support Scotty. And, we appreciate that. It's not taken for granted. It's not light. We appreciate the effort and the sacrifice that people are making to support you and to support the music and to support the ministry. We appreciate that.
Yeah, absolutely. And I don't take it lightly at all. It's very humbling. It just blows me away. It's so appreciated. Can I say a plug about something that's happening in November?
Yes, absolutely.
Well, I'm so excited because I'm getting to come sing at Salem Baptist Church in November.
That's And that's the
Lake
first time
Mississippi.
they've heard it. We have not announced that. Nobody knows that yet. So that's breaking
I'm sorry.
news. No, that's breaking news.
Was it too soon?
No other way I had rather announce it than right here on this interview this morning. Scotty Inman's coming to Lake Mississippi soon. Just soon down the road. Gonna happen.
Sunday morning, November the 27th, I believe.
Yes.
And it's going to be a good morning. So that gives you plenty of time to get the CD and learn the songs and sing along with.
That's going to be our Pastor Appreciation Sunday at Salem. So I might make sure.
Yes.
My dad does not know about that yet. That's going to be a surprise for him. But, he's probably not listening this morning because sometimes he doesn't get to listen.
What's so neat about that is I sang for him and y'all with Pull Up Voices.
Yes.
21 years ago. And now 21 years later,
coming back,
you're giving me the opportunity to come back and sing on his special day. And so, I'm just so excited. And so November 27th, I'm pumped.
Well, Scotty, I have to ask you one question before we go. And I'm sure that a lot of people have asked, but it's on people's mind. And I didn't ask you permission to ask this question. I'm probably putting you on the spot, but it's on people's mind and they want to know. So I'm just going to ask it this morning on this Friday morning. You're with Triumphant. You've been with Triumphant for 20 years now? And it's the 20-year anniversary for you guys?
Yes.
Okay. You're with Triumphant. You've had such a successful run. You're still successful. The group is out of this world, crazy good. But now you've got this solo album. Everybody wants to know, are you intending to go out on your own, or are you still settled with the Triumphant Quartet?
That's a great question. And it's a question that needs to be answered. And so I'm glad you asked. The short answer is I want to do Triumphant and I want to do a handful of solo concerts a year. That's the dream. The dream is to do the Triumphant schedule.
Yeah.
And I want my solo ministry to be something that is not overdone. I want it to be something where if you book Scotty Inman to come sing, you're getting one of maybe 15 concerts in the year. So that's kind of where we're at with that right now. And that's where I want to be. To me, that's the dream. The dream is for me to be able to do both and both successfully. But I will say this, what I'm doing right now, honestly though, is trying to set a stage for what life looks like after Triumphant.
Right.
When, because here's the deal. I'm quite a bit younger than the guys.
Mm-hmm.
They got plenty of years left. We're rolling along as good as we ever have. God's blessing. But when that day comes, whenever that day is, it's not been talked about. There will be a road that's been traveled down for a few years, maybe, and maybe I can slide into it in a more larger capacity. But in the meantime, I'm happy with Triumphant, loving Triumphant. Singing with my dad is a joy, and then like I said, having exclusive solo dates where the people who, book me for a solo concert feel like they're getting something that's
Special.
not going to happen.
Yeah.
It's special. It's something that's going to happen once a month, maybe, average once a month. So that's kind of where it is. And that's where I like it.
I think the two can accent each other beautifully. You've got your accomplished and your settled career with Triumphant, and then you've got the solo on the side. And I think the two can just go hand in hand wonderfully. And Salem is honored to have one of those special spots for this year coming up in November. Scotty, thank you for being on the morning show on this release date and on your birthday. We are proud of you, Scotty Inman.
Hey, I thank you. I love y'all so much. And I'm going to go eat some cake.
Go eat some birthday cake. You deserve it. You've earned it, my friend.
She's like,
I had to think a minute.
That's all you're going.
I was thinking, where's the cake?
She's like, what?
Where's the cake?
He just said cake on radio?
Where's
what in
the
the world?
cake?
No,
I wish I had
anyway.
some cake right now. But anyway, you go eat some cake, and we're going to listen to one more song off of the new project. We appreciate you, Scotty. You've always got a friend right here on the morning show.
Listen, real quick. It means the world to me that you're a part of my ministry like you are. Honestly, I'll never forget as many years as I do it, that you were one of those that really was in the forefront of helping me out with different things. So I just want to say thank you.
Scotty, that means a lot. I appreciate that. Look, I appreciate you. You're the absolute best. I love you.
Well, thank you. I love y'all so much. See you soon.
Yep, in November. Here's one more off of the album. If you haven't downloaded it yet, I don't know what you're waiting on. The name of the album, Anywhere Jesus Is. Here's the last one for this morning. It's called The Future. Bye, Scotty.
Bye.
I can't see the way from where I was to where I'm going, but I believe God sees the whole thing from beginning to end. So I'm gonna pray more and worry less, even if I'm standing in a big old mess, 'cause he sees me where I'll be and where I've been. I don't know what the future holds, but I know the one who holds the future, and I know that he holds everything in the palm of his hands. When life seems so uncertain, he shows up, throws back the curtain, and we understand and watch a better plan as it unfolds. I don't know what the future holds, but I know the one who holds the future. Everywhere I turn, there's a lot of reasons I should worry, but I've read where it said that sometimes that's the way this world is. Yeah, I could wring my hands and shake my head, let it fill my heart with all kinds of dread, or face the day with a simple faith, just knowing I'm his. I don't know what the future holds, but I know the one who holds the future, and I know that he holds everything in the palm of his hand. When life seems so uncertain, he shows up, throws back the curtain, and we understand and watch a better plan as it unfolds. I don't know what the future holds, but I know the one who holds the future. Yeah, yeah. I'm gonna trust and obey, take it day by day, knowing he'll make a way. I don't know what the future holds, but I know the one who holds the future, and I know he holds everything in the palm of his hand. When life seems so uncertain, he shows up, throws back the curtain, and we understand and watch a better plan as it unfolds. I don't know what the future holds. Yeah, I don't know what the future holds. No, I don't know what the future holds, but I know the one who holds the future.